Welcome back to an episode of Rockets Talk. I know it's been a minute, but we are back. The dynamic duo, two of America's most wanted, in the same podcast at the same MF in time. Bro, what's good, man? I know it's been a minute, bro.
Man, I'm chilling. Super busy. We had a crazy season to the extent that both you and me kind of just, I don't know, it was less interesting.
Yeah, I was like, you know what? Let me focus on being a good citizen and a dad. Because these Rockets, yeah, it got pretty nasty, but yeah, it's been crazy busy. It's been crazy busy.
I mean, look, all in all in the season, on the whole, KD was awesome. He had some warts with the turnovers and all that, but I mean, I think he had one of the best individual seasons in Rockets franchise history, 26-5-5 on, I don't know, 52-41, 88, 64% TS, whatever. Taking super difficult shots, right? And being asked to play like point guard, second in the league in minutes. So loved KD's season. I thought Thompson had a really good season, especially once the Rockets starting Reed more. I think you saw Amen fully unleash and just get back to being that all-around dominant player that he is. Şengün started hot, kind of hit a dip, and then came back crazy. So, the Şengün we started seeing at the end of the season is the guy I hope we get in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. And then the rest of it, I don't know. We'll see. Jabari Smith was better. I feel like he was, if you look at the numbers, he looks very almost identical to year two, just with, a few more minutes played and a few more shots per game. But when he plays well, the Rockets win, And then I thought Reed Sheppard played pretty well. I'm pretty pleased with Reed Sheppard. He's got a lot of flaws and some things to work on, but all things considered, he contributed to winning essentially in his what is practically his rookie year. So happy with the season, given the injuries, 52 wins. And for anyone, again, Fred VanVleet, 3-6. Rockets were 3-6 without him in his first season. They're 11-11 without him in the second season. This season, they're 52-30 without him and without two other starters that they traded, obviously, Jalen Green and Dylan Brooks. So, I mean, if anyone is doubting the KD trade still, then I just don't know what to say. So that's kind of my read on it.
Yeah, I would say my assessment on the season, I don't even blame a lot of the players. A lot of the stuff that we saw with the team was structural. And I think it impacted everybody. A lot of the KD turnovers, you don't give, even though we're happy that he was able to do that. I don't think he himself came to Houston to play point guard, right? This, to me, he is best utilized as a play finisher rather than a play initiator. I think Şengün, same thing, ups, downs. I think for him, what I noticed between the change he made is that he started letting the game come to him. On the second backstretch when he started playing well. In that stretch where he was bad, he was forcing a lot. And I think if you notice, his scoring, it got way more efficient. His assists went up, and he was just more of a facilitator. And I think it was a mixture of them losing a bunch of games, and I think the heat on Ime Udoka kind of forced him to kind of change a little bit as to how they played. I think the KD thing, you didn't mention it, that whole burner situation, I think it whether the players want to acknowledge it or not, I know the Rockets media people are going to say, yeah, what about the vibes now? Bro, it looked, from a human standpoint, you could see the vibes were off for the first week or so when that story came out. Whether it was true or not, we'll never know. But I think that did have some, because just they're humans, right? So that must have had some mental impact, but I think they kind of got it all together. Overall, I think everybody developed. The only person that I would say possibly regressed was Tari Eason.
Tari Eason, I knew it.
Yeah. He definitely. And this is why, as a young player, you never put yourself in a situation to play on a contract year. He's too young to handle that pressure. And I think that you always, the old adage is you play for your second contract, because the first one was supposed to secure you. Take the security, ball out. That second one, that's the one you're going to ride off into the sun with if you do what you're supposed to do. That's why Jalen took the money. Honestly, remember, he was in a similar situation with the Rockets. You always take the money on your, if they offer you, just take the money, prove it on the back end. You could have. So to me, that was a miscalculation on his part. But overall, man, yeah, I think the biggest slander would go to Stone and Ime Udoka. I was very disappointed in the team construction and Ime Udoka's flaws that were apparent in Boston. Kind of bit him towards the end of their finals run. They kind of came up, and yeah, I can't say this is the best year to say Ime is, one of those elite coaches. Now, some people will argue what you pointed out about the lack of a point guard, missing key players, the roster construction being bad. Steven Adams, we didn't mention him. A huge part of our identity as a team going down. So, yeah, I would say, but still, I'm lukewarm on Ime right now, like, to be honest.
Well, and also Stones. I don't know if you saw the shame on them comment. I thought
that was nasty work. I put a tweet out this. He is competing with JD Vance as some of the worst public speaking on earth right now. Like bro,
Rockets PR saw that.
I mean, you can't be that. He's bad. He's purposely. It's almost intentionally bad. But yeah, go ahead, bro.
Yeah. So on Ime, I mean, yeah, this season took me from thinking, like you said, he's one of those elite coaches to like maybe questioning that, and then. To be clear, I do think Ime Udoka, when he's got his guys and the team that he wants and the players he wants, I think he's a championship level coach. And I think he proved that in Boston.
Yes.
It took them the Derek White trade to become that team, right? They were not that team until they traded for Derek White. Then they took off. And Fred VanVleet is kind of the parallel to that for this Rockets team. And you can clown that all you want, whatever. Fred VanVleet's a really good basketball player. He's a really good NBA player. He's an above average point guard. And you can see that he contributes to winning very clearly. Now, I think Ime can be a championship level coach when he's got his guys. The disappointing thing for me is that he can't, I don't think, at least we'll see, playoffs pending, I don't think he can adjust his way out of a situation that isn't like tailor-made to what he wants, right? And that is a weakness because the best coaches can adapt. So we'll see. But yeah, I mean, roster construction, I mean, I'm just disappointed that they didn't try to address the point guard situation until like March by starting Reed. I thought that was crazy. I don't, and we can talk about it now, but I don't think Reed's going to start in the playoffs either. And so, I mean, a lot of question marks, but I think the most disappointing part of the season is that they had so many winnable games that they forfeited on their own, like not because they had no choice, even without Steven Adams hurt, or even with Steven Adams hurt, even with Fred VanVleet hurt. So many games. I think they ended the season like 22-23 or something in clutch games. They were either first or second, I think, in most clutch games played. So there were a ton of close games. And obviously they basically like broke even in those games, right? And if you watched it, how many of those games they blew down the stretch with turnover after turnover after turnover, just like squandering possessions, wasting opportunities, giving teams chances to come back. And then also paired with stupid decisions down the stretch, like the Warriors game a few weeks ago, right? Rockets are up 106-92. Reed Sheppard hits the layup to put them up 106-92. About 6 minutes left. They pull Reed Sheppard. Jayshawn Tate comes in. Warriors come back, take the lead, almost win the game, if not for Şengün with the game winner. So I just hope, and we can talk about the playoffs, I hope that type of stuff does not happen in this series, because if it does, you might lose a series that way.
Yeah. Let's jump right into the Lakers Rockets preview. Which is the main reason we wanted to hook up for this pod, give y'all a layout of just what we think. I think we'll just go in and we'll do big picture. And then obviously as the games come in, I'm not going to lie to you. I promise we're going to do every game, but we'll try to. So yeah, I'm like the dad. We're going to Disney World next month, guys. Okay. Y'all just be good. We're going to go to Disney World and never show up.
I have very important dinner plans on Saturday night. So I don't know how much game one, you know what I mean? Like,
there you go. So, if we don't do it, I'm using that excuse and let's all blame Roosh. But so the Lakers series, honestly, I didn't want them, but the injuries makes it interesting. Okay, so we'll start off big picture. I think the matchup.
Hold on. Who did you want?
Minnesota.
Okay.
Yeah, I wanted Minnesota. Even though our games are close, I just feel like we could beat them on a given.
So you're saying you want Minnesota even with the injuries to LA or before the injuries?
No, before. No. LA full power. I mean, obviously the last time they played us, it was nasty work. Right. But yeah, LA full power, no, because I'm going to tell you why. LA full power is the worst type of team for the Rockets to play. They're similar to the Warriors because they have the one thing that we don't have in excess, which is experience. They have guys that are high IQ. And in these late game situations, when you have LeBron James and Luka Doncic on the other side of the court facing whoever you can pick on the Rockets, including KD sometimes, that's not a good matchup from a IQ basketball acumen standpoint. And I think even though we may be more talented as a roster, like completely, just like LeBron said, ironically in the Mind the Game podcast. Remember, we talked about this, about what are the most important things as you matriculate through the playoffs. He said the smartest teams are the ones that are going to make it far, because every round you go up, the X and O's, it gets so tight that mental mistakes, little mistakes are going to lose you series. And I think, as you pointed out very well, our biggest flaw is clutch time and those dumb errors that they make, unforced errors, just turnovers, bad plays, selfishness. Those type of things will get you smoked. To me, that's why we lost some of the games to the Warriors, because they were just a smarter team, not as a bad team with like 3 good players were able to take us 7 and beat us. So that's why I didn't want it. With the injuries, it's a little different. I still fear LeBron. I'm not gonna lie. Because I feel like, just from not even physically, just from a mental standpoint, I feel like he could pick apart a team still, just from with his mind, figuring players out. So, yeah, bro, that's. But obviously, I'm not gonna say it's gonna be really dependent on who comes back for them. If they are as is, we should beat them as is, and we could talk about some of the individuals. But what's your overall take?
Yeah. So, and we're on a little bit of a time crunch, so I'm just gonna let it fly. You can pause me and you can butt
I got
whatever.
Go for it.
Do it as you please. So I agree with you, right? I mean, they're hurt. There is no excuse to lose a series, period. We're hurt too, but I mean, they're missing 2 of their 3 best players. Generally speaking, the Rockets have 3 of the 4 best players in this series, period, right? Amen Thompson, Kevin Durant, Alperen Şengün. And we can go further than that, and you could even expand it, and they might have 4 of the top 5 or 5 of the top 6 or whatever, depending on how highly you value Luke Kennard, who scares me. But so from a talent perspective, like, the Rockets have it. Now, I'm afraid of JJ Redick versus Ime Udoka. JJ Redick is going to have something ready for Ime Udoka, and it's going to be on Ime Udoka to take that and respond in real time. The good news is we've already seen one of those major kind of haymakers that they would throw, which is that half-court trap of KD when we do that. So if we're not prepared for that now, after getting crushed by it back, a month ago, then that's going to be a huge indictment on Ime Udoka and on the players for not being able to execute. But we did see that. Now, I'm expecting tactical things, right? I'm expecting Marcus Smart on Şengün, Ayton on Amen kind of stuff, right? With Ayton helping down off of Amen. I mean, I know that they're going to go the ball's going to be heavy in LeBron's hands. They're probably going to try to put Şengün and read and pick and rolls and make guys pick and choose. They're going to lean into Rui Hachimura, who's been very efficient from the mid-range. Luke Kennard, the game after Luka Doncic went down, Kennard had a triple-double. So, don't discount their ability as a team to move, drive, kick, relocate, catch, shoot, and just keep things going. They don't have great shooters. They do have Luke Kennard. LeBron is also a very capable shooter. LaRavia's had kind of a down season, I think, shooting. Marcus Smart isn't a shooter, but he can make some if you let him. And then they're going to have to kind of dip into their bench of the unknowns, right? And the thing that scares me the most is that this Rockets team this season has had trouble with these teams of random guys going off, like that Minnesota game we lost a week or so ago with, I don't even know his name, Terrence Shannon and whoever else was going. Oh, Kyle Anderson was killing us, slow-mo. We've had trouble with just random guys catching, shooting, getting hot, driving, kicking, and we get kind of discombobulated and our defensive principles evaporate. The one thing I'm hoping that we as a fan base can bank on is the fact that the defensive floor for Ime Udoka teams are typically high. He generally has his team ready to play in the playoffs. Last season, the Rockets were ready. They got beat, but they were ready. This season, they've looked unprepared numerous times. It's been such an up and down season, right? There are games where they come out flat, 26-5, losing in the first quarter 26-5 to the Suns. And then in the same game, they'll make the comeback and win by 14 points. I just don't know how to gauge the team. They came out, a few weeks ago to Chicago and were down 22 in the second quarter. And then they came all the way back, took the lead, and then they lost the game. It's been a very seesaw up and down season. They seem to come out, find themselves in a deficit, rally, and then respond. But I will say mental toughness is something that they also appear to have. They lost that game to Chicago. They had that historic, 13-point overtime lead that they blew, biggest in NBA history to the Timberwolves. And when that happened, I thought, okay, the season's over. They're about to spiral, fall to the play-in, and it's going to be a catastrophe. And they responded to that by winning 8 in a row. So I don't know. I mean, if it's a tale of two teams with this Rockets team, and if we get the team that's locked in and focused, which I'm hoping by way of playoff intensity and the stakes, that's just going to be automatic and that's going to happen. And I hope the rest of it trickles from there. For example, I think Şengün takes himself out of games sometimes when he kind of like this mentally just kind of gets like soft and takes himself out of games. But last year in the playoffs, man, he was ready to compete. He had like statistically, he was okay. He was also going against Draymond Green, but he was like fierce and, his presence was there. I have to imagine him, Amen, Kevin Durant, Jabari, like I think all these guys are going to be ready. We'll see if Reed is mentally, but like, I just, that's where it's going to come down to. So to sum it up, Rockets have the talent advantage. I think the Lakers have the tactical coaching advantage in terms of X's and O's and, the chess match. I think JJ Redick's going to have a deeper bag of tricks to pull out, and he certainly will go into that bag of tricks. And then I just think mental toughness, I can't speak on the Lakers, but I think the Rockets will be ready. So that's kind of the big picture.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great summary. I agree. I think Reed is going to be an X factor. He can go either way. I do believe the playoff experience the first time is shocking, and he'll probably be trash. I'm not going to lie. I can already expect it just because it's everybody was. It took a man 5 games to figure out like, oh, okay, like they're going to force you to be bad, right? Everything you do good at, the team is going to take it away. And they do it. The difference between the regular season and the playoffs generally scheme for your best player. Everybody can do that. We're going to stop, Luka today. That's our trap and blah, blah, blah. In the playoffs, they're scheming for your role players too. So they're going to try to take away everything that you do. Everybody gets a detailed report, a detailed attack on their weaknesses. And I think for him, the lack of experience, it could go either way. I honestly, if he figures it out, it'll probably be later in the series. I agree with you. Last year's experience against Golden State, I loved it. I didn't love that we lost, but I just the way basketball sports works, you got to take your bumps and bruises, and I think that was a rite of passage the Rockets had to go through, especially a team as tactically sound as the Warriors are and intense and as done. That's a scary team. It doesn't matter if
you saw Draymond locking Kawhi up the other night,
bro. That I'm gonna say it on the pod. I always say this. People hate me in the comments. I respect the hell out of the Warriors, bro. That's how you do it. But yeah, so I do agree. I think that's going to be. I think the guys that were in the series last year, they're going to have a chance to take a leap from where they were last year in the playoffs. I actually think that they have a level they can get to, especially the ones that've been there, like Şengün and Amen and Jabari, because you see it on certain moments in games. The thing is, most players, and this is what is so hard about the playoffs, you have to stay there for the entire however long the series goes. Some guys can do it. Some guys can't, but I know for a fact that they have to get to that level. I've seen them go up a level. They're going to have to get there pretty quickly. But some of the matchups, I'm looking really interested to see. I like how you said DeMarcus Smart on Şengün. I don't know if they're going to deploy that in game 1, but we'll see.
I don't think they'll start with it, but it's going to be one of their.
They're going to throw it, and then
you already know Marcus Smart is going to be flopping. And
it's going to fret. Well, the refs in the NBA let the little dudes like damn near beat up the big man. But I think the biggest thing is going to be our pick and roll, how we guard the pick and roll against them, because LeBron and Luka were abusing the hell out of that all game. And they were putting Şengün into action there, especially when Reed and Şengün are in the action together. That's a terrible matching when it comes to pick and roll defense. And I really don't know what you can do with that at this point. When it's Fred is obviously a much better defender. And you can live with that. But Reed, with his defensive limitations, his size, he gets washed out in the screen, and then it's just chaos after that. So I wonder what are they going to do? They're going to trap ball handlers. I'm also looking at who's going to guard KD primarily, because they might want to throw Marcus Smart on him because he's physical.
I don't think they have anyone who can.
I mean, there's a book out, bro. I ain't gonna lie. He's almost like a quarterback in football. You gotta make his pocket a messy. You gotta be at his feet. You gotta hit him every time you get a chance. So he's about to get. They're gonna try to like destroy him just with physicality. That's what I assume is gonna happen. But that matchup on KD to me is gonna be interesting. And the ball pick and roll defense for the Rockets, I think those are gonna be some of the key things, because if they take KD out the series, it is curtains for the Rockets. But that's going to be on Ime. And I agree with you. JJ Redick has been shown to make those adjustments. Ime makes adjustments, but they're always late. So that matchup, I mean, this is JJ's first playoffs or second? Second. So I can't even say that he hasn't been there. So we'll see. Let me ask you this. So for the series, who do you expect from the Rocket side to be able to kind of be somebody that is not like one of the top players, but and don't say Holiday, a role player. I'm gonna exclude him because I know you're gonna say who's a role player that you expect, and it's out of the top three of us that has to have a good series for us to be successful. They have to.
It has to be Jabari Smith.
Facts.
It has to be Jabari Smith. I mean, he's going to be the guy that's going to be the beneficiary of, when someone gets extra attention, if Şengün gets doubled, if KD gets doubled, Jabari's going to be the open guy. He has to hit open threes, right? The Rockets they could lose this series off the mat. Just like that Minnesota game from a week ago is what is scaring me, right? A team of just random wings gets hot from three. We can get it. We could be super hot from two. I mean, KD, Amen, and Şengün combined for like 96 points or something on 50-something shots. But it was all twos. They didn't have a single three between them. And I think the T-Wolves were like 15 of 30 or something like that from three. And you lose the game, right? You give up 136 points. So Jabari is going to be one of the main solutions to the math problem because he's going to be the guy that's going to be open to get those shots. So it has to be Jabari. You'd have to think Reed. I mean, they're going to need scoring, right? But this is where the answer kind of turns into like a mishmash of anyone. It could be Reed, Tari, Okogie, maybe some combination of all of them. Maybe my boy Holiday. I do think the biggest advantage for the Rockets is that the Lakers don't have somebody who can guard Şengün one-on-one.
Yeah.
Now, maybe Marcus Smart can. I don't know. We'll find that out. But DeAndre Ayton really can't. LeBron can't. People. Right. I've seen people say that. LeBron can't. Go watch. Yeah, watch. Even young
since his rookie year, he couldn't guard him.
Even young Şengün has just been bullying LeBron in the post. LeBron cannot hang with him in the post one-on-one. Jackson Hayes can't. Whatever. Go down the list. They don't have anyone who can guard Şengün. So the reason, to your point about who you wanted, I wanted the Lakers even when they were healthy because that's one component of it. They don't have anyone who can guard Şengün. So we have a way to force a double team off rip, right? They also don't have anyone who can guard Kevin Durant. They also don't have anyone who can guard Amen Thompson. So they're going to have to schematically take these guys out, but they can't just man us up, line it up mano a mano and take us out. It's really Marcus Smart is the guy, and he's only one guy, right? He can't guard all three of them. So he can maybe guard somebody and frustrate somebody, but other people are going to be there. I do have a weird feeling we might see Bronny James on Reed Sheppard, by the way. And I feel like that'll be a bad matchup actually for Reed because Bronny's
a good defender. He's big.
I'm just saying he's made his way into their rotation with the injury. So and then the other thing for me, man, is who is the eighth rotation player, right? Like Ime's playoff rotation is going to be eight deep. Maybe a ninth guy gets like 5 or 6 minutes in a close game. Who's that guy going to be? I mean, I think it's got to be Capella, but I also think it's going to be kind of a revolving door between Capella, Holiday, and Jayshawn Tate. So we might get Jayshawn Tate playoff minutes, by the way.
Oh my gosh. Nah, don't say that. I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want to see that. I think that, yeah, you're right. I think Capella definitely, because he's the only other center that we have. And I think some of the Lakers lineups, he would have to be out there. And he
does have like playoff experience.
He's a vet. Yes. And he hit a three and he had 20-some points. And
there's a role out there for him.
Yes. And I think that's really one of the, if you step back, that's one of the weaknesses of the Rockets is that we have all these players that are role players, but there's not a unified system that puts them all in place. And if the Lakers, to your point, not as talented, we probably do have 3 or 4 out of the best players, but they fit better. They all kind of have a role, especially having shooters that they have, the guys that are just defenders. Like Marcus Smart is not going to try to look off LeBron James. And I think that hierarchy is going to be important. And this leads me to my answer for that question I asked you. I think Tari Eason, bro. And I'm going to say Tari Eason both in the negative and in the positive, meaning he can't, if he kills us, that'll hurt us.
Yeah.
Right. So there's 2 aspects I'm looking at. Like you can't be that bad, bro. And that's like bad shot selection.
So tell me, how does he? I know my answer, but I want to hear from you. How does he hurt us? What version of him hurts us?
Oh man, it's really I don't mind guys missing shots. So I'm never gonna kill a player who isn't a slump or whatever. Obviously in the playoffs we don't want that, but to me it's not even the shot missing. It's the shot attempts. It's the out of context playing. It's the let me go ISO pull up 2 when the game, like, bro, it's the transition. Like I have 4 players in front of me. I have an open teammate in the corner. I could pass it. No, let me just do a Euro slow play, like fadeaway.
He loves that fadeaway. I'm like, bro, that's
I don't get it.
Patrick Ewing meme. Like, when do you shoot that shot? Is that your shot?
Yeah. So to me, that's like, if he can just be his role, defense, rebounds, and just be a team player, bro. If he does that, I don't know what Ime is telling these guys, if he's telling them to be aggressive like that. But to me, that's what hurts us. If he can hit his shots, if he plays like the Tari that we all know and love, that was a analytics monster, that every time he was on the court, the Rockets were plus 15. He is such an important player to us. And Şengün said it. He brings a certain energy and chaos in a good way. He just needs to channel that. So I think that's the guy that I'm looking at. Obviously, Jabari, yes, Jabari is going to have to hit shots. I've liked Jabari's year. The stats may not show a divergence from his previous years, but the impact that he's had, I think the role he's taken, it's been noticeably just more. He's just a better player to me. And I think you can see how much KD has impacted his confidence and his game and his shot profile and the way he goes about like taking his shots. So I'm definitely excited about his progression. Bro, I'm seeing things in Jabari. In a few years, we might be having a different conversation about bro.
I hope so. I mean, I always love to hate on Jabari because he just looks so silly sometimes when he does certain things. But I mean, look, I still hold that the Rockets need him to be a 38% or better 3-point shooter. A lot of people say, oh, if you take out the slump, he is, and it's like, all right, cool, right. But you can't do it that way, man. I mean, we could.
Hey, if you take all my misses away, I'm 100%, baby.
Right? Like, come on. I could go find his hot stretch. Let's take the hot stretch out. Then what happens to the numbers?
Right.
Now 33% or whatever. So it doesn't work that way. But I just need him to be, specifically because his shots are so wide open, I need him to hit it at a higher clip. But he has he's been taking the midi a lot. He's been more confident in it. We've known from the jump that like that's one of his shots. We just never saw him get a chance to really take it. And this season, he finally got a chance to take it more, and it looked better. I can't lie, he's had a couple dribble drives lately that have looked nice. Mm-hmm. But every time he does something where I'm like, okay, all right, yes, he'll come back door that 2 quarters later with like just the craziest, dumbest thing you've ever seen, where he dribbles it off his foot and like falls down and then complains. And I'm like, all right, well, never mind. So, but to the point of Tari Eason, I agree, man. I need the version of Tari Eason that we got, I think, in the Philly game a few weeks ago or a week or so ago, where like he's not ball stopping, he's not driving and playing point guard. He does that sometimes for some reason. Just the dude that's hunting the offensive rebound, making the hustle play, tipping it out for an offensive rebound for an open 3, getting in transition. Whatever, just letting the game come to him. When he forces the issue, it gets really ugly. When he just plays within his role and does all the little things, that's when he's a winning basketball player. So I hope we get that version of him. Talking about the pressure of the season, I think he was under the most pressure because of the contract year. And I think that was visible. Like I don't really recall seeing a player visibly struggle because you can tell they're like losing money in real time.
I'm losing the bag with every missed shot.
Part of me felt bad for him. The other part of me was like, dude, just play your game and you'll get the bag. Like that's the whole point. You don't have to be SGA. But okay, for me, X factors of the series, and we kind of talked about it somewhat, but my X factors of the series, it could really be anybody, honestly, but I'm going to pick Amen Thompson and Jabari Smith for different reasons. Jabari Smith, we've already covered. Obviously, if he hits his shots, there's like the Rockets have this record where if he scores 15 or more points, they win a lot of those games. And so that's kind of self-explanatory. The math issue, we talked about that. Amen Thompson, if we get the superstar version of Amen Thompson that we got like for the last week of the season, where he just, I don't know what his numbers were, 22, 7 and 7 or something, on like 62% from the field, whatever. If we get the version of Amen Thompson that realizes like, hey, I can impose my will on this series, we will win. The Rockets will win the series, and they'll do it probably handily. If we get a different version of Amen Thompson, that's where I'm not sure what ends up happening. So it's not that he's an X factor in like the role player sense, but he's an X factor in the sense of like, does he become the star? Does he play like the star that we've seen him be or not? And if he is, I just don't think the Lakers have any answer for him. And then that trickles down to them not having an answer for anyone else.
Yeah, I agree. I think Amen, the way the Warriors exposed some of his game in the series last year, like I said, he really didn't figure it out till about game 4 or 5. And by then it was probably too late. So I'm curious to see how they guard him, because he is a player that, you talk about mental, if you're getting the who they used to do like that, where they just backed up Russ, Russ in his late career treatment. How does that mess with your head? Or Draymond, like how they just like your guys under the basket waiting for you to shoot. So we'll see about that. All right. So before we go, game one, who you got?
Game one. Game one, I think it's the Lakers. I think the Lakers come out, energized. Okay. They defend home court. I mean, I'm with you, bro. I will never count LeBron James out. I'm never going to shortchange LeBron James. I'm afraid of LeBron James, period. So like facing LeBron James in a series scares me, no matter if he's 41 or 35 or 25. So I think the Lakers come out, defend home court. I think JJ is forced to pull some of his tricks out of his bag immediately because they are hurt and they're going to have to. And then we'll see how the Rockets respond from there.
I'm going to flip. I'm going to say the Rockets, and I'll tell you why. Because historically, with veteran teams, especially with LeBron James's teams, he's like
It's gonna be no feel out game.
It's a feel out game, bro. We gonna look good, beat them by 20. To me, I'm fearful for us. If this goes long, that's where we might lose. So we got to take care of business. So I think we're gonna win game one. I don't think, obviously, the playoff series don't start till like game 3 or 4 when all the adjustments are out the window and it's like, all right, bro, it's like who can just be a better whatever at every little thing. So I'm gonna go Rockets game one. We'll start there. But
I'll say this: no feel out game because they are depleted and I don't think they have the luxury to go down. Right? They're gonna have to. I think every game matters to them. And then also someone is winning this series in 6 games. I can't tell who.
6.
But I think someone's winning in six games. And before everyone calls me a negative, this, that, I'll remind you, go look at some of the teams the Rockets have lost to this season. Right. They aren't great. And it's partially because they aren't great. Like, I feel like we have this mental thing where we're just kind of like, we're better than this team, will win. And then we don't know. It's almost like, I'm going to use an example here that might get me in trouble, but I really don't care. It's almost like when you ever play pickup against I remember in college, man, we used to play pickup against a squad of like 5'8" Asians, just like across the board. And you'd be like, we're about to run this. And then they just go crazy. And
they running full sets.
You're like, how did that just happen? You know what I mean? So it's
they like running stagger screens on you. Kind of like, bro, bro. Go ahead.
something like that. But we'll see. I hope I'm wrong. I haven't made an official prediction, but someone's winning in 6. So we'll see.
All right, I got you on that. All right, bro, we'll stop there. Appreciate you coming through again, and no promises, but we'll try to do more as we can as life allows. Y'all already know. Thank you for coming to the Chop Shop. Keep rocking with us, and we'll keep dropping that